In this episode, I have a Sony STRAV470. We're going to change the backup battery for it. It's a customer-owned one. It's the one we did the repair on, and the guy decided that he wanted me to change the backup battery while I've got it here. So I've got a new battery. We're going to show you the procedure to take this thing apart and replace that battery. Coming right up. So I have an STRAV470 Sony AM stereo, FM stereo receiver. The client that owns this one has asked me to change the battery, even though the battery for the memory backup isn't dead. It is, 25 years old at least. So they want the battery changed on it just so they don't have to worry about the battery going bad. So I've got a new battery for it here. Okay, so we're going to open this unit up and we're going to change out the original lithium cell for a new one. So this is the procedure to change the battery on one of these units. A lot of these Sonys is going to be the same. So let's pop it apart and first of all locate the battery. Okay, once we get the top off the unit, we have to access where the battery is. I don't see any batteries on the main board here. So the battery on this is going to be stored on the front board, which means we have to remove the front panel to access it. So we're going to take out these screws here. There's 3 screws on the top, and there'll be 3 screws on the bottom. Here they are. One. I think these ones have to come out too. But for sure these ones have to come out. No, these ones don't come out. The black ones don't come out. Just these 2. You see, they're attaching to something else. So now we can lift off the front panel, which is attached by wires. So the battery is right here. It looks like somebody's changed this before, doesn't it? That definitely has been changed. But we're going to change it again because the client that owns this asked me to change the battery. So we're going to swap this battery out for a new one. So I'm just going to heat up the solder here on the back of this battery and just lift one terminal off. Like that. And then I should be able to just heat up the other one and lift the battery out. Like that. Okay, the battery's out. Let me grab my pliers and we'll take the battery out of there. So this might be the original battery. It looks pretty old. I don't know if there's a date code on this thing or not, but let's just check the voltage on it. See what the voltage is down to on this thing. Still measuring 3.29 volts. Nothing wrong with the battery, but again, it's an old cell, so we're going to swap it out. Plus the fact that I already went and bought a new battery for it, so we're going to put the new one in. So I've got the new cell here, CR3032, with the tabs on it. The leads on it are a little bit different, but there's plenty of room in here. So I'm just going to first of all open up the land here, open up the hole, so that I can get the new battery in place. Aha, got it through. Just going to bend the tab over a bit by hand there and kind of hold it in place and just tack this thing in place first. Get some solder on there to hold it. There we go, that should hold it in place. Now I can solder on the positive terminal, and then we'll go back and put the other one on properly. Okay, that one's on. Now I'll go back and I'll just put some more solder on the other pin. Hopefully it's not going to pop out while I do it. So we'll kind of hold it in place while I'm doing this. I'll put my finger around there and push it all the way in. Okay, that'll be good. Measure it with the meter. Make sure we got our voltage. There we go. It's charging up the circuit. When the battery is disconnected, it actually will drop the voltage. There's another capacitor in there. It goes through a diode and so forth, so it'll come back up. This is a brand new battery though, so I'm surprised that it's only measuring 2.99 volts. It's a 3-volt cell, but it's actually measuring a little bit lower than the brand new or the old one that came out. Interesting. Anyway, brand new cell. Just bought it. Just made a special trip into town to pick the thing up. So, okay, just had to put the front panel back on. So just line it up, slide the panel in here. We have to line up the power buttons here. As you'll notice, there's the standby button, but there's the main power button that has to go through, as well as the speaker buttons. Easiest way to make the speaker buttons go through the cabinet is to make sure that they're both off, so they're in the out position. We just line up the cabinet here, turn the unit up on end so we can see the switches alignment. And just pop it through like that. Make sure all of our switches line up. Then we can reinstall the screws. Put the screws on the bottom of the unit. We'll power it up and test to make sure that it's storing frequencies, and then this unit is done. Then I can ship it back. The fellow that owns this unit is actually the same fellow that owns that CDP55. He sent me 2 of them in 2 separate shipments, and basically once I fixed this one, got the main problem fixed, he said, I'm going to send you a CD player, just hang on to it until you get it. And he says, I want you to change the battery. So I went and got him a battery yesterday. And now the new battery is in. Power on. Okay, so it's showing 87.5 because obviously we haven't programmed anything into it, but I'll say program in 1. Oh, I don't know how to do this thing. FM, how do we do this? Direct access tuning. That's memory. I put the frequency and I push in 10110 and we'll say memory preset 1. Okay, now that's the only one that I've programmed in. The rest of them are I'll program in 9930, memory preset 2. Okay, now we've got 2 of them programmed in. If I remove the power, put power back to the unit, 101.1, 99.3. I only programmed in the 2 of them there. So there you go. All done. Top goes back on this unit. And now this one is ready to go back to Ontario where it came from. Okay, that's it. All back together. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one real soon.